towns that I savor, like my hometown that I favor. That old place down the long road that I'm traveling to. There's the jokes at the barber, told by Cleve from the hardware, about the stories that always make the news. Our town, wherever I may roam, I'll always have a place that I call home. Our town, it's very plain to see, there'll always be a part of you in me.
Most of us have a town somewhere in our background. Maybe we grew up in one or later settled in one. Wherever it is we live, we look for a hometown feeling, that special sense of identity, belonging, and community. Sketches of Our Town is a series in which we'll witness the evolution of our country as we explore its many different communities. We'll have a look at their history, their stories, their sights and sounds, their people. Each town we visit, though it may be only a dot in the landscape, has made a unique contribution to our national mosaic. Hello, I'm Barry Penhale. Brockville's story had its very beginning right alongside Jones's Creek out here, and it was on almost this very site where Daniel Jones and his nephew Charles settled. Now, the rivalry between the Joneses clan and the William Buell family was so great that it led to one of the least complimentary and one of the earliest names for what we know today to be the city of Brockville. The River St. Lawrence was the first road through our nation. Here, at the foot of the Thousand Islands, the earliest signs of native civilization are still apparent. From the Iroquois village of Toniata, once located near this site, raids were carried out against the French fur traders. In the late 1700s, the American Revolution was a time of hardship and persecution for those who remained loyal to the British Crown. 40,000 of them fled north to various parts of Canada. Some of these United Empire loyalists were transported to this region, which became known as Upper Canada. One man, William Buell, took up a grant of land on this river site. Daniel Jones and his nephew Charles settled on either side of him. Buell's Bay, later Elizabethtown, soon became a distributing point for government stores. Buell, along with the two Joneses, offered free land for a new courthouse and jail when the government of Upper Canada decided in 1808 to move the administrative center here. The highest piece of land, a site owned by Buell, was chosen. There were intense feuds between the competing families. The town site name had now been changed to Williamstown after Buell. Mr. Jones's supporters, however, insisted it should be called Charlestown after Jones. The struggle became so bitter that people came to nickname the community Snarling Town. A compromise was finally reached when General Sir Isaac Brock passed through the area. The dispute was supposedly brought to his attention, and he settled the difficulty by lending his own name to the place. Through early prosperity and growth, Brockville became a self-governing police village in 1832, and as such is Ontario's first incorporated community. The town elected Daniel Jones as its first mayor. In the same year, cholera struck. Commonly called ship's disease, it killed hundreds of people along the river, and on nearby Blockhouse Island, a cholera hospital was set up where the sick were cared for by Dr. Robert Gilmore. He himself fell victim and died, as did William Buell. The Buell family influence, however, continued through his son William Jr. as editor of the Brockville Recorder and Times. During the Upper Canada Rebellion of 1837, Buell's Recorder represented the Reformers, while Ogle R. Gowan's Gazette supported the Tories. The Brockville Rifles were formed as the 1st Battalion Leeds Militia in 1796. Future battalions fought in the War of 1812, the Fenian raids of the 1860s, as well as both World Wars. Another type of army was mobilized in 1894. The Sons of Temperance pioneered such youth organizations as the Loyal Crusaders and the Cadets of Temperance, offering a liquor-free society insurance benefits and the glamour of ritual and uniform. The lodges were instant hits and spawned many imitators. Timber and shipbuilding were mainstays of the Brockville economy in the 1830s and 1840s. There was a busy boat center thriving in La Chapelle Bay. The coming of the Grand Trunk Railway linked Brockville to the port of Montreal and other centers. By 1850, it was a mercantile and manufacturing center, with a reputation as one of the wealthiest towns of its size in Canada. Large-scale companies thrived. Many generations of Canadians will recognize the products first manufactured here. The Gananoque Carriage Company was at one time considered to be the backbone of the town's economy. A bicycle building shop grew into the St. Lawrence Engine Company, which manufactured its famous gasoline engine up until 1948. The Brockville Atlas Auto Company manufactured the Atlas car from 1911 to 1915. It was one of the first to have parking lights, the body being manufactured by the local Canada Carriage Company. Reminders of the past survive in present-day Brockville traditions. Perhaps the most formidable symbol of Brockville is the wooden figure of Justice, which has stood on the roof of the courthouse for over 100 years. The original, now in a museum, was crafted by a former British carver of ships' figureheads and was put up in 1845 as the finishing touch of the courthouse. At the opening ceremony, when one of the officials was asked about the name of this adorning work, apparently he looked at the formidable and large Major Grant standing beside him and said, "Her name is Sally." Sally Grant. By 1956, Sally Grant was in such a state of decay that it was decided to remove her from the roof. The sentimental attachment to her, however, was so strong that this replacement was made to carry on her role. From her view atop the courthouse roof, Sally has witnessed the historical evolution of her cherished Loyalist town. The East End Market was first established in 1833 and has been a feature of Brockville life since that time. The sergeant of police was the clerk of the market, and as such, he was responsible for weighing all the produce. Scales were taken back to the police station where they were kept when the market was not in session, at 12 noon each day. Anyone wanting to weigh anything after noon had to take it to the police station. Beneath the Market Square and Victoria Hall lies the Grand Trunk Railway Tunnel. Designed to give access to the riverfront, it opened for traffic in 1860, running beneath the very center of Brockville. Many residents still recall the roar and smoke of the steam engines suddenly emerging from the south portal and an eerie rush of wind felt while standing at the other end. The Brockville Rowing Club dates from the mid-1880s. At a Dominion Day regatta in Toronto in 1898, a crew from Brockville, later called the Famous Four, won the Young Fours. Excursion steamers offered stylish travel to Kingston and along Lake Ontario to fashionably attired men and women. As befits a river city, the water has always been a connecting force in the city of 1,000 islands. Other events in Brockville's past are still recalled. In 1930, the J.B. King, a drilling boat, was struck by lightning off Coburn Island, and in 1958, the world's biggest bank robbery. The biggest success stories in Brockville were derived from the patent medicine business at the end of the 19th century. W.H. Comstock manufactured a range of remedies, while George T. Fulford purchased the trademark and prescription for a tonic oil used by a local Dr. Williams. A major ad campaign made Dr. Williams' Pink Pills for Pale People a world-famous preparation. In China, to this day, all pills are still pink in color, a carryover from Dr. Williams. Product names still familiar have evolved from this era of the River City.
But River St. Lawrence was better than it all. As long as I've lived here, no Brockvillian that originally came from here calls it anything but the River St. Lawrence.
Brockville maintains with dignity reminders of its past. The architecture reflects the prosperity of the decades. There is the Georgian United Loyalist symmetry and balance recreated from the urban centers of Britain, and the Victorian-styled brick.
They all love the St. Lawrence River. There's so many beautiful things you can do. When I came here first, we used to go on all kinds of boat trips on the St. Lawrence River. And a freight boat that went from Brockville to Kingston, and you never knew when it was coming back because it stopped at every place along the way. And then a great treat was going down to the burg and bringing home things that you had no business bringing.
The classic New England green shows the strong Loyalist influence, as does the fact that the courthouse is surrounded by 4 churches, demonstrating the sense of justice and piety which was so central to Loyalist life.
Anyone who's had the good fortune to have been born here or to have decided to come here, his life, her life has been enriched by the people that you associate with. The quality of life in the community is such, and we have everything that one could really need. And our people do travel a great deal, and they all say the same thing. It's nice to go away, but it's always nice to come back.
On the main thoroughfare, names of early merchants remain. During the 1890s, all the shops were arranged along King Street. The south side was called the 50-cent side, with all its stylish and classy establishments. The other side was called the 25-cent side, though it boasted the store where the pink pills for pale people were sold. Other historical reminders around the town mark the chapters of its story. Like the river, Brockville celebrates the qualities of renewal, energy, and creativity annually in its Riverfest event.
I'm the founder of Brockville. I don't know whether Brockville people like to have a found, but I'm the ambassador of Brockville, and no doubt a lot of people throughout Ontario and Quebec knows me. I'm the old fellow that has the live chicken in the baby carriage and the old black umbrella that I led the Grey Cup parade in Toronto and Ottawa, and I just love Brockville.
Went away from Brockville and then came back, it's rather a delight for me to, after 40-odd years, to see so many others now discovering what I knew a long time ago, that there was a way of life here that was very desirable.
Recently, during Riverfest, the Armagh-Sifton-Price Park was officially opened on former Blockhouse Island, now attached to the mainland. Officiating was Mayor Stephen J. Clark, who holds the title of Canada's youngest mayor, elected at age 22.
As a council, we wanted to do something right. We wanted to do something first class. Both of this facility down on St. Lawrence.
This area is steeped in the history of Brockville. Residents and visitors alike feel a magnetic attraction to a long-standing friend, the River St. Lawrence.
I'll see the folks up on Main Street who will always take the time for a story over coffee at the old Five and Dime. The flag on our town hall through the years is flowing free, a tribute to our hometown's history. Have a place that I call home. Our town, it's very plain to see. There'll always be a part of you in me. There'll always be a part of you in me. There'll always be a part of you.